Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy K Breezy here. I hope that all of you watching this having an awesome day. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over and breaking down what I feel like is the best overall class for the SCAR in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You know, it's just going to glide through the competition and make you want to do your happy dance. So if you're excited for today's video and you're just, an all-around amazing person, be sure to let me know down below by clicking that like button. And while you're at it, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, because then you don't have to worry about missing out some of the latest Call of Duty news or posts from this channel. Real quick though, I'm just going to run through, the perks and all the other doodads that I use in tandem with the SCAR to just, make it pop off to the best of its abilities. But first off, I use Ghost so that I can just, be chilling, moving, going from coast to coast while the enemy has a UAV online. I use EOD so that I don't OD on Claymore deaths and grenade deaths, and Battle Harden so that things don't, get freaky whenever the enemy flashes me and I don't know what they're at or what they're doing to my body. And I'm also using Dead Silence and Munitions Expert to be, sneaking and geeking behind the enemy's back without them knowing. And Munitions Expert because this gun runs through ammo like a fat kid whose mom put him on a diet, but he sneaked in a box of Twinkies and is just going to town on them things. Also, you see C4s with this class, but Claymores could also be a good option, but I'm just kind of a fan of C4s. So I use C4s because I like playing aggressive, and this is more of a run and gun class for me. And I also use stem shots as my tactical because I get into a lot of 2v1 gunfights, and it really comes down to what they think, what the enemy is thinking, and what you're actually at health wise, and that determines if you win that gunfight or not. Also, for my secondary weapon, I'm using the Deagle, kind of just to switch things up from the 357, but the 357 with the snake shot ammo attachment is still a pretty good choice. And with all of that out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and start breaking down the first attachment that you should put on the SCAR, which is the Forged Tac Close Quarters Combat Pro Barrel. This barrel is exactly what the SCAR needs, regarding the boost and aim down sight speed and overall movement speed with this weapon, though this does come at the cost of some bullet velocity and overall recoil control. I can vouch for this attachment though because the increase in ADS time is just amazing and honestly makes this weapon much more versatile overall, And I'll go ahead and give you a heads up before I keep going with the rest of these attachments. Like I said earlier, this is more, focusing on making this gun as much of a run and gun class as possible, because in part that's the way I like to play, and I really would encourage other people to play like that. But overall, this is it's more of a run and gun class, so just keep that in mind. And for the next attachment, you're going to want to equip the Commando foregrip, or underbarrel attachment is the Commando foregrip, and I think you get this right at the start, but it makes the recoil on this gun much more manageable by providing a boost in recoil stabilization and aiming stability. And while you might move just a tad bit slower with this weapon, it's more than worth it, because without this attachment, the gun just won't be as smooth at those longer ranges, and you'll be missing shots that you would have hit, but you're now missing because you just you didn't want to run this attachment. So you should definitely give this attachment a chance if you're not already. Also, this is one of the only underbarrel attachments for the SCAR that do not reduce the overall aim down sight speed with this weapon, which is really important and something I was really considering when making this class, because this gun already has a notoriously slow aim down sight speed. For this next attachment on the SCAR, which as I always say, it's not technically an attachment, but it's the fully loaded perk, and this is really more of a crutch perk. You could also run Sleight of Hand in its place, but I'll explain why I chose fully loaded in my final loadout choice later on in the video. But having fully loaded is almost essential, because pretty sure if you're watching this, you're obviously a math whiz. So you start off at default with 40 rounds of, in reserves, and you have 20 rounds default in the magazine. With that being said, you have 3 full clips in total with the SCAR. So even if you were to hit all your shots and, got a couple headshots in there, playing on normal mode, you're probably not going to get past a 4 or 5, maybe 6 kill streak before you're looking for ammo. You're either gonna have to pick up somebody's gun, or hope you run over another SCAR, or just find a munitions box or activate your own. But with fully loaded, you'll get the full 180 rounds when you first hop on or spawn into the match. So it's definitely worth in the long run if you go on those longer streaks. which you do since you're watching this video. Attachment number Quattro is yet another crutch perk, or I mean attachment to be using on the Scar, and it is the F-Tac collapsible stock. This thing is probably the closest thing you're going to get to running no stock on this weapon, because it provides a boost in movement speed and aim down sight speed at the cost of yet again some aiming stability and recoil control. These cons are mostly negated by the commando foregrip that we equipped earlier, so this really isn't anything to worry about, but it's going to be really worth it because this compact stock is going to make it where you're able to maneuver around the map much faster, and on those smaller maps like Shipment or Crash or maybe even Vankit, you'll be able to eat up and just because of your mobility. And like I always do with the fifth and final attachment on the Scar, you're going to want to equip the 30 round mags. The reason for this is having only 20 rounds in the magazine for a weapon that's not like a sniper rifle or something, like you can't really do anything with that. And like I was saying, the reason I didn't go with Sleight of Hand and instead of fully loaded is plainly for the fact that, let's say there's 3 or 4 enemies at the most. Even if I was to hit headshots on at least one of the enemies, the most I could get was like a triple kill, because I ran out of ammo even though I'm hitting all my shots, just because I only have 20 bullets. There was when I was recording and grinding for these clips, there are multiple instances where I could have got a quad or a fury or frenzy kill, but I couldn't because I only had 20 bullets and I hit all my shots, and there's literally nothing I could do. I mean, I could switch to the deagle, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing I could do at a range wise in my own position because I had no more rounds in my magazine, even though I hit all my shots. So I mean, you can run Sleight of Hand over fully loaded if you want to, but just having those added bullets in the magazine are really going to make the difference, especially if multiple enemies come up on you, or if you're shooting at those longer ranges. And unless you have aimbot, you're probably going to miss a few shots. Perfectly fine, everybody does it. And while you may get some slowdown regarding ADS speed and overall movement speed with this weapon, it'll be worth it, because when it comes to the Scar, those added rounds are worth their weight in gold. But with that, guys, covers and breaks down what I feel like is the overall best class to use for the Scar in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Overall, this gun kind of comes off as like one of those harder weapons to really get into, because it has just a remarkably slow aim down sight speed when you very first get it. But the longer you work with it, it'll work with you. And if you get those gold attachments like I mentioned in today's vid and combine them together, this gun will actually be able to just wreck through people and just cause havoc throughout the map. And if you just keep going on with it, you'll be dropping bodies and nuking lobbies before you know it. Even after some of the most recent buffs in the game regarding the ADS speed and overall movement speed with this weapon, it has about a 2.5% usage rate, which definitely makes it one of the more underrated guns in the game. And hopefully get some more notoriety and popularity after a few more tweaks, like maybe a buff and even more aim down sight speed or fire rate, really fire rate, because sometimes I'll go against like an M4 or a Kilo, and just because they had a faster fire rate and they could get more shots off, they'd be one to kill me first. So maybe a buff and fire rate would really help this weapon out. But since we're on the topic of buffs and nerfs, what weapon or weapons do you think deserve a buff or maybe even a nerf in Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Currently, after the 725 got nerfed, there's not really anything on my plate that's bothering me at the moment. But I wouldn't mind if they just took shotguns out the game completely. I don't hate people that use shotguns. I just don't like getting killed by a shotgun. I'm on a 20 kill streak and I get one shot by a shotgun. I did everything right, but he had a shotgun, so it doesn't matter. So I wouldn't mind if they just took them out the game. But be sure to let me know down below what weapon you would choose and why. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, because then you don't have to worry about missing out on some of the latest Call of Duty news or a post from this channel. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, because that really helps me out and lets me know what kind of videos that you guys like to watch. Also, feel free to comment down below with what weapon you want to see next, or just any video ideas that you have in general. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and as always, it's your boy KB. Signing off. Peace.